Something incredible has just unfolded on the Ukrainian battlefield. History was made when the crew of a Ukrainian Leopard 2A6 tank achieved a stunning kill that many thought was impossible. But that's not the whole story. In another part of the front, a nearly indestructible fighting machine has appeared, one that Russia's forces have never faced before. Wave after wave of drones tried to take it down. Every single one failed. Now, Russia must confront a Ukrainian tank revolution that's ripping through its lines. Let's begin with the Leopard 2A6. On April 8th, Euromaidan Press revealed that Ukrainian forces had scored a record-setting hit at a distance. The Leopard 2A6 was never designed to manage. This Western tank turned into a precision long-range sniper, destroying a Russian T-7 to B-3 at 5.5 kilometers, roughly 3.4 miles. That kind of engagement distance defies everything we know about tank warfare. Yet, according to Ukrainian reports, they've just recorded one of the longest tank-versus-tank strikes in modern military history. The big question is, how did they do it? It required pinpoint accuracy to strike a weak spot on the Russian tank from such an extreme range, combined with outstanding fire control in difficult conditions. Many details remain unclear. Army recognition points out that we don't know the exact circumstances of the engagement. What we do know is that the Leopard 2A6 wasn't built for shots like this. The tank's Rheinmetall 120mm L55 smoothbore gun is highly capable. It boosts muzzle velocity while preserving lethality at distance. Its kinetic energy rounds can exceed 1,700 meters per second, around 3,800 miles per hour. So traveling over 3 miles isn't impossible in terms of raw speed. A round would cover that distance in under a second. The 53 German Marks round is rated for effective fire out to about 5,000 meters, according to Army recognition. That's just 500 meters short of Ukraine's claimed strike, making the feat more believable on paper. Still, range and velocity aren't the only hurdles. The target had likely needed to be stationary or moving very slowly, a realistic scenario for a T-72. Even if it was moving, the brief flight time of the round would limit any evasion. The real challenge lies in spotting and coordinating the shot at that distance. Tank crews couldn't possibly see the enemy clearly with their own optics alone. Drones almost certainly played a critical role. To pull off a direct frontal hit on vulnerable areas like the turret ring, mantlet, or lower glacis, the Russian tank had to be carefully observed until it was perfectly positioned. Reconnaissance drones likely loitered overhead, feeding real-time intelligence back to the Leopard crew about the target's location and orientation. The Leopard 2A6 crew has strong tools to work with. Its advanced fire control system includes the EAMS-15 stabilized gunner's sight, thermal imaging, and a laser rangefinder. These allow target acquisition in almost any weather or lighting. While the extreme range pushes the limits, drone-provided data could help the crew align the shot, even when visual confirmation was minimal. The fire control computer constantly adjusts for range, ammo type, wind, elevation, and barrel wear normally, giving high first-round hit probability up to 3 kilometers. Ukraine claims to have extended that by another 2.5 kilometers, likely by factoring in velocity loss and using precise external data. Of course, this remains speculative. As of now, no official imagery or sensor footage has been released to verify the claim. Ukraine may be withholding evidence to protect their methods. Until more proof emerges, we can only analyze the possibilities. The implications for Russia are serious. While celebrating this long-range Leopard 2A6 success, Ukraine is also repurposing its older Leopard 1A5 tanks into improvised self-propelled howitzers. According to Defense Express on April 7th, these modified tanks can deliver indirect fire out to 12 kilometers, about 7.45 miles. With upgraded barrels, that could increase to 18 kilometers, over 11 miles. Ukrainian crews report impressive accuracy, often destroying targets in just 3 or 4 rounds compared to 7 or more for Russian Soviet-era systems. Once again, Ukraine is pushing Western equipment far beyond its original purpose. The Leopard 1A5's standard 105mm L7 gun was never meant for this kind of long-range indirect role. Some of these tanks may even be the Leopard 1A5BE variants delivered by Belgium in April 2025, equipped with the Cockerel 3105 turret, an HP gun optimized for indirect fire from protected positions. For Russia, this adds up to major trouble. They've already lost over 11,848 tanks as of April 10th, mostly to drones, mines, and anti-tank weapons. Their production can't keep pace. Claims of 250 T-90M tanks per year look optimistic, with some estimates suggesting far fewer actual new builds, losing more armor to Ukrainian tanks. Firing from distances where the targets can't even see the threat makes the situation even worse. But the challenges for Russian forces don't stop there. Ukraine has also turned some of its tanks into resilient defensive powerhouses. Consider this. One Ukrainian Leopard 1A5 faced a full day of attacks from 52 Russian FPV in Monia. Granzan survived completely intact. On April 6th, United 24 Media reported that this single tank, operated by the 5th Separate Heavy Mechanized Brigade, endured relentless drone strikes thanks to extensive anti-drone modifications. It featured cages, wooden pallets, protective netting, armor, patches, and the innovative Hedgehog system of unraveled steel cables along the sides. These cables can shred drone propellers before impact, causing the explosives to detonate harmlessly away from the armor. The tank remained operational the entire time, continuing to provide crucial fire support while keeping Ukrainian infantry safe. It wasn't moving during the assault, but in this case, mobility wasn't the priority. These Leopard 1A5 South are increasingly used as stationary or semi-stationary artillery from covered positions, firing repeatedly before repositioning once the job is done. Russia's turtle tanks with cope cages were often mocked for being slow and vulnerable. Ukraine flipped that idea. If heavy protection reduces mobility, they'll embrace the stationary role while keeping the turret fully functional for long-range strikes. Similar adaptations are appearing on Ukrainian M1A1 Abrams tanks, creating slow but heavily protected mobile fire platforms. Ukraine isn't stopping at hardware tweaks. In early April, Business Insider reported that cruised 4 Leopard 2A4 tanks are now training with mixed reality headsets, provided by the Norwegian company Findreality through an $8.45 million program. These 39 virtual systems let operators train without using real tanks, ammunition, or fuel. Training happens from a chair with headsets, reducing wear on vehicles, lowering costs, and keeping actual tanks hidden from enemy detection until needed. This long-range Leopard 2A6 kill, whether a one-off or the start of something bigger. Ukraine's growing skill at integrating real-time battlefield data, especially through drone networks. At a time when Russia is facing its own communication problems, this edge matters. Ukraine continues to demonstrate remarkable creativity with the tools it has, transforming tanks from seemingly outdated platforms into versatile long-range snipers, accurate artillery, and drone-resistant. The tank isn't dead in this war. It's evolving in ways few expected. And that's just one part of Ukraine's ongoing adaptations. Thanks to support from the US and Greece, they've recently received powerful Cold War-era artillery capable of devastating strikes. How they'll employ it could shift the balance even further. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Ukraine's latest battlefield innovations, make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all the developments in the war.